Welcome to New Life Live, the premier place to receive free advice from Christian psychologists and counselors for the mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual challenges you face. Since 1988, we've offered compassionate responses that combine God's truth with proven psychological principles to guide you toward healing. Our phone lines are open. Call us now at 1-800-229-3000.
Hey gang, thanks for joining us today on New Life Live. I'm Brian, so glad to have you with us. This is Dr. Alice, and Becky's here too. Mm-hmm. Alice Benton is a licensed marriage and family therapist. Becky Brown is the president of New Life Ministries. She's also a licensed professional clinical counselor. We're here to talk about life, the problems of life, how to get through them, what you can learn from them, so stay tuned. Becky, you'll never guess what I'm going to ask you.
What is on my mind, and I'm ready to answer.
How does she always know?
She's good.
That's
why she's the press.
I'm ready.
That's why she's the press. Yes.
I'm ready, even if you don't ask me what's on my mind. I'm going to tell you anyway.
That's true.
Our staff, this last couple of weeks, we just began reading through the book of Nehemiah. I can identify in so many ways with that particular book, but the basic premise is that Nehemiah recognized that the walls of Jerusalem were breaking down. And you're wondering, Becky, what does that have to do with anything? Well, guess what? Many of us, if not all of us, have to rebuild our lives, or we have to build our lives. And so, when you think through what he was going through and just the way that passage, I would just encourage all of you to read through the book of Nehemiah. But one of the things that he starts with is prayer. In chapter 1, he talks about, what he's facing, and then he goes right into prayer. And prayer is such an untapped resource. We usually wait until we're under the gun and then we'll ask God. And so, if we can pray ahead of time, it can make a difference. But, we always talk about recovery here, and we say recovery is for everyone. And recovery is a process of rebuilding a life. That's what we're talking about. And so I'm reading it in the Life Recovery Bible, and there are great devotionals and great footnotes that go along with the book. And I want to give you some 4 points that Nehemiah gives us for recovery. Number 1, the importance of boundaries. Nehemiah is rebuilding the wall. Obviously, back in those days, the wall around a city was very important. It was a fortress. But even in our own lives, boundaries are really important. When we talk to people who are struggling with addiction, we talk about what not to do, what to do. But boundaries are important in all of our lives. It's keeping good in, keeping bad out, helping define who we are. Number 2 is importance of confrontation. Nehemiah had enemies that were saying, come on over here, let's talk about this. That's not going to work. They were always, calling him out. And his response, he had strong internal fortitude. He knew what he was supposed to be doing. And he said, I'm doing a great work and I can't come. There are some things in your life that you have to know. I need to confront this. I need to address it, not in defense or reaction, but in response to what God's plan is for me. Number 3 is the danger of discouragement. Nehemiah had to fight it. He was focused on what he was doing, but man, he had a lot of challenges ahead of him. But the way we do fighting discouragement is we stay connected to healthy relationships, to supportive people who are honest with us. And then last, at 4, the power of confession and worship. Of course, confession is part of a recovery journey. We talk about taking inventory, making amends, and also making restitution where it is possible. But we also talk about the power of celebrating the wins and worshiping and praising God for what he has done in our lives. In Nehemiah, when they finished the wall, the first thing they did was they started reading the word out loud to everybody, because that's a different story, but they started reading the word, and then they broke out into a festival celebrating what God had done for this. So maybe you could begin by reading Nehemiah and maybe consider a recovery group to be part of the path of a new life for you. We got our Choosing Wisdom conference coming up. You could join there. But I want to ask, what is your process for your new life? We can help you get one if you don't have one.
Yes, indeed. I thought Cloud and Townsend had come up with the concept of boundaries, but it's in the book of Nehemiah. That's great. And the book of Nehemiah, you can find that in your Bible. And if you need a Bible, we've got New Life Recovery Bibles on our website, newlife.com. Look in the store. Danielle, we're talking to you next.
Every marriage faces seasons of difficulty, and whether you're working through betrayal or feeling emotionally distant or simply just roommates, Know this, you're not alone and there's hope. Renewing Love is 90 minutes. I want you to invest just this 1.5 hours. We're going to talk about how to navigate seasons of distance and disconnection with grace. We're going to give you practical steps to begin rebuilding trust after betrayal or hurt. We're going to teach you how to invite God into your marriage for healing and renewal. We're going to give you simple tools to strengthen communication and emotional connection, and steps to move forward with hope, faith, and lasting love. And it's not just information, it's an invitation to heal, to reconnect, to trust again, and discover that God can make all things new, even your marriage.
The Renewing Love Marriage webinar is Tuesday evening, September 16th. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE or go online to newlife.com. 1-800-639-5433. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Let's go to Silver Spring, Maryland, where Danielle listens on WAVA. Hey, Danielle, thank you for calling in to New Life Live today.
Hi, thank you so much for taking my call. So my question is, my husband and I are considering retiring soon, and in our conversation, he mentioned that he is worried that I'll be living off of his retirement, and I just didn't know what to do with that. It made me feel a certain type of way, and I just didn't know what to do with that.
How long have you guys been married?
Do you have any suggestions? 20 years.
Okay.
And Danielle, when you say it made you feel a different type of way, let's try to identify what that is. Hurt? Offended?
Yes.
Accused?
It made me feel unloved. Unloved.
Okay.
Is that unusual to feel unloved by one of your husband's comments, or has that been a pattern at times?
It's been a pattern at times. Yeah.
And has money been a major factor in you feeling unloved?
With him, sometimes, yes.
Mm-hmm. Would you describe more? How has he felt like an unloving partner to you in other ways in your marriage?
Well, let's talk about the money. I feel unloved because he makes comments about how much he makes and how much I make, and like him wanting me to make more, even though he makes enough to support both of us.
Okay. Interesting.
And easily.
Mm-hmm.
Easily.
So why do you work, Danielle?
Well, wait, let me ask
why
this
do I
question.
work?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just do you do
ahead.
it because it's something you love to do, or is it because you feel like he would want you to work? If you told him all of a sudden, hey, I don't think I want to work anymore, like you're talking about retirement.
Oh, he definitely would want me to work. But I work because I enjoy doing what I do.
Okay.
But if I said I wanted to retire, then you can work. That would be his answer.
Danielle, is this your first, like both of your first marriage? Like you guys been married 20 years, first marriage for both of you?
His first, my second.
Okay. And so over the 20 years that you guys have been together, what kind of financial conversations? Because money is a language all of its own. And you could be making plenty and he could be making plenty, but if he's coming from a place of scarcity, it's never going to be enough. And so understanding what we think about these things in marriage is very important. And I wonder if you guys have ever had that conversation. And then also the feelings that you're describing, Danielle, did you feel them? Like, is this just related to him saying this about the financial situation with retirement? Or have you had this feeling in other relationships, whether it's the former husband or siblings, parents, that kind of thing?
No, no, I haven't.
Okay.
This
Okay.
is
Well,
I've only felt it in this relationship. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So the reason why I ask all that is because to identify, is this particular to him? I would have been hurt if, if it was an off the cuff comment like that, because then it kind of diminishes what you bring to the marriage. And so I hear
Yeah.
that, but also I think understanding what he thinks is enough, what you think is enough, because retirement is a planning thing. You guys are going to have to pay taxes, utilities, and who knows what the healthcare is going to be. I mean, it's just part of, that planning. And it could be that you have a conversation with a third party, whether that would be a financial planner or a counselor, so that you are all on the same page, and give you some space so that you can identify with him. That comment you made really doesn't feel good to me. Doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel like you respect what I'm bringing into the marriage. And it almost feels parental. I mean, I don't know if that's how you felt, Danielle, but that's what it kind of sounded like to me.
Yes, it does. It feels like he's trying to be my father, or he's making me feel like I'm less than a partner, equal partner.
That's right.
Even
That
stings.
I'm not bringing as much. Yeah.
That's erosive to a marriage and to trust over the years if that's happened multiple times to you. I agree with Becky in addressing how that has hurt you. And to help you bring that conversation to him, let's also wonder about where his worry is coming from. And so, Danielle, have you ever given him cause for any level of concern that you spend in ways that are upsetting to him? Or has he come from other relationships where money was unstable, whether it's when he was growing up or in other romantic relationships?
It might have been growing up, that, when he was younger, that money was unstable. And it was when he was growing up, money was unstable. But with him, financially, he as a single person, he always got whatever he wanted. So when I say, if he went into the store, if he liked something, he rarely looked at a price tag. He was always in a position to purchase what he wanted financially. So that has never been an issue for him as an adult. He never really worried about money. And it's showing more now that he's married. And, I think, he thinks about, we have a child, so we have to pay to put our child in college. And he's tired of working. I know he is. I can tell he would be done tomorrow if he could, but he's, his mind is like always going like, I got to be able to put, this child through college, and then we have to live in it. And then, are you going to be living off of my retirement?
Right. Yeah, that's the reason why, Danielle, you have to have a conversation with a third party. I'm probably older than you are, and my husband and I have had these conversations with a financial planner. It's that third objective person, and it's not personal. But what you're describing is there's his money, there's your money, and then there's not our money, and yet he's making decisions based on all of you. Just as a side note, you don't have to pay for your children to go through school, just to relieve everybody of that responsibility. For some people, it can be the best thing for that child to figure out how to pay for school, but that's another subject. But Danielle, have you talked about like financial planning, like having a person who can help you outline what that future looks like for the two of you?
So we haven't sat down and spoken with a financial planner, no. And maybe that's something that we need to do based on the conversation that we've had recently.
Yeah, it just brings some practicality, because he's imagining that you're going to be in a deficit and it may not be true, but it also is planning for, they ask you questions like, they look at longevity, they look at what your investments are, those kind of things. And I know that sounds very not warm and fuzzy, but what happens is the emotions are causing this disconnect between the two of you, and it can be resolved with really understanding what the practicality is.
And Danielle, to go back to what may be your part, and maybe you're totally innocent in this, but have you ever been secretive, overly private about what you earn, how you spend it? Or is there a way you spend on fun things or luxury things that has been startling to him, even though he spends on himself?
I'm thinking. No, because we're joint, so he sees everything that I spend.
And he's never pointed out a category or an area or a pattern of spending that was concerning to him on your part?
Oh, it doesn't matter what I spend. If I go grocery shopping, oh my gosh, you just went grocery shopping. Why are you going grocery shopping again? So that kind of thing.
Everything you spend concerns him.
Yeah.
No matter how necessary it is. And how,
no matter how necessary.
How unstable was his family of origin economically? Were they very poor?
I mean, they were hard workers. They did okay. So someone on the outside looking in would not have thought they were poor. They lived in, a pretty affluent neighborhood. No. From the outside looking in, they were okay.
But were they constantly working? Were they constantly working to keep up that appearance or that kind of lifestyle?
Well, his parents, they did. Like they started out like a lot of couples do. They started out in an apartment, and then they worked their way up, and they bought a townhouse, and then a single-family home. So they did all of that.
So it remains mysterious why he is so worried about what you spend and why he doesn't trust your decisions. Because the situation seems like it's stable enough, you have more than enough, and yet he pounces on everything. And so some guesses Becky made that he has a scarcity mindset. Maybe he's a controlling person. Maybe
that's what I'm thinking right there.
Maybe he's selfish, maybe self-centered. And underneath all those things is usually a fear, a hurt, a wound, usually. So to bring your concern to him, I want to understand better your comment that you made. And I've got to admit, the way we've talked about money has been hurtful to me over time. And so I think we need help for both of us to address this better and to figure out why we feel the ways we do about money. Would you be willing to both talk to a financial advisor and a counselor so that we can dig deeper? Because this gets in our way and it keeps us from being really intimate with one another emotionally. How do you think he'd respond to that invitation?
He might say yes initially. Yes, because we've talked about counseling, not for this, but for other things. We've talked about counseling, and so this could be a part of that. But so he would say. I believe he would say yes.
The way he's questioned you over the years has, I'm sure, been crazy making. And at times it might have even felt borderline abusive. Because how do you operate as a mom when every single purchase is questioned and questioned with a derogatory and accusatory tone of voice? I can only imagine how drained you are by his attitude towards money.
Yes. For a long time.
So
he's verbalized it to others.
Complaining about you.
Yeah.
Then I want to empower you, because you're already speaking up about this now and saying, hey, this is a problem. And I want you to keep that message going. This is a problem. This doesn't work for me. We need something to be different about it. And that's why we need to go get help. You said, well, he'd say yes initially. I want you to keep on this train of we need to go and get the help. So even if he falls off and stops, you keep going, because we need to get your voice strong to take a stand against being treated like this and to make sure you're getting the professional help you need to get out of this pattern. This is not right for him to treat you this way. And he must be in anxiety and feeling the need to control. That's not good for him either, or for your child. So you're attacking the right problem here, Danielle.
Right. And Danielle, here's the thing about this. This is a very common female experience. And what Alice is saying is right on. I would encourage you, as you guys reach out to a financial planner, also think about your own financial status. Like, if he falls off the face of the earth tomorrow, I'm not saying that he's going to, but, what does that mean for me? I love all of these ways to just explore what could be possible. And I would recommend, we're going to send you How We Love, because that's going to help you with, maybe you could do a comfort circle conversation, right, Alice? And we'll get you connected with somebody, a counselor in that area too, because what a great way to get this resolved and have a better next adventure.
Yep, we'll be back.
Here at New Life, we want you to have transformation. And so we have created the New Life courses, and you meet weekly on Zoom with a coach or counselor. You're going to have teaching as well as that group connection, because we know how powerful that is. We hear that all the time about our intensives, that they love the information, but the group process is so powerful. And many of you have been hesitant to participate because you're not sure, the timing, the price. The New Life courses are going to meet you right at that area of need. Every week you're meeting on Zoom with that therapist. You're going over the concepts as well as connecting as a group. It is so powerful, and it's accessible. Wherever you are, you're going to be able to join us.
Embark on your journey of personal growth and self-discovery in September with a New Life course. Lose it for life, take your life back, or healing is a choice. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Club New Life changes lives.
I think I go way back to listening to New Life, learning so much from it, and then becoming a Club New Life member.
Club New Life is a monthly giving family that helps New Life Ministries provide Christ-centered hope and counseling resources to thousands of people.
I'm so thankful because, why I keep giving? Because I keep learning, and I'm so thankful for all the lives that you touch every day and the people's lives. So when I get to still hear the radio show, it's just so encouraging to my heart.
When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, you'll make a difference in the lives of individuals and families with godly counsel and connection to help.
And one reason I give? Because I feel like sometimes I'm hiding behind a counselor's couch, listening to all this great information and not paying. So my guilt of this great advice is alleviated by being a Club New Life member.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. And together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
And Danielle, thank you so much for calling us today on New Life Live. We are going to send you a copy of How We Love. We're going to send it to you free of charge so that your husband doesn't wonder, what's this book purchase here? What's this New Life Ministries? No, I'm joking. But it's a good book, and we think you're going to... Yeah. So, you know what, though? I was thinking earlier today, and it's funny because we were talking to Danielle about money and everything, and the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil, which of course it's not saying money is the root of all evil, just the love of money. And, we got people calling in all the time, all sorts of issues, not just financial ones. But how does the love of money play into the evil that's done to hurting people? And we're not saying this is something for Danielle's situation necessarily, but just all these horrific stories that we hear sometimes. How is that tied into the love of money, or is it?
Yeah, when we idolize money, it just creates such destruction in our life because that's our master, that's our priority, and then loving is somewhere much lower on the priority list. But it can look good in our culture because if you're a workaholic, if you're making a lot of money, that looks and feels successful to a certain extent. But if it means you don't love well, then it's worthless to have all that money.
Yeah, Becky?
Well, and the problem is just like what you just said, that it's an idol. And what it becomes the priority. So just to put it in practical terms, if you have a love of money, you're going to be greedy, and you're going to have a scarcity mindset because there's never enough money. You can't make enough money. There isn't enough money to acquire. It also can be an illusion of importance, that you think that you're better than others because you have more. I know some people, I just talked to somebody the other day that on the outside, you would never think that they have a money issue, but here's how I recognize the money issue. They can't not work, even though all of their needs are met. They have all of the savings, all of the things in line, but they can't let go of the job. And what I mean by that is even to attend to family situations, even to take a day off so that they can be present with their spouse and their children. That love of money begins to grow, and it begins to affect every part of your life. And sometimes it can, when we talk to people who struggle with gambling addictions, it's always about just one more try. I'm going to do this one more thing and then we'll be done. But we see that happening even in folks that are trying to collect. And I don't mean just, tchotchkes. I'm talking about money, where it's like, I'm going to do one more investment because then I'm going to get that much more. And it becomes an obsession. And money is not the problem, like you said, Brian. It is the love, and it is the prioritizing, it is the idolization. And, a lot of folks, you heard me, I say all the time here that, we need funds to help us do ministry. And a lot of times when people have a love of money, they don't think about how, hey, what does God want me to do with this? And when God says, give me the first 10%, and the rest is yours. I mean, think about that. It's all God's to begin with. But what are you doing with what he has given you? So I'll get off my soapbox, but yeah, thanks for bringing it up, Brian.
Well, yeah, like I said this morning, I was just thinking about that, and the love of money is the root of all evil. And then I started thinking about the calls that we get on this program and how there's so many hurting people, and then I was just like putting two and two together. So how does it correlate, I guess, is what I was thinking. All right, let's go to the phones. We've got a call here from Jacksonville, Florida. It is Terry who watches us on YouTube. Hey there, Terry. Thanks for calling in today.
Hi, how are you?
Doing great. How can we help you?
I'm a little nervous.
You're amongst friends. Don't be nervous.
So I called to ask, what steps do you recommend I take when dealing with the ex who I believe is paying people to hurt me?
Oh. Can you tell us a little bit more?
What kind of hurt, Terry? What are you talking about?
I'm not sure how far he will go. However, someone told me I'm in danger, that I work with, and there was an employee. A little backstory, this originally occurred in another state, which caused me to move to another state to get away from this all. And now I see it all I'm going through it all over again here. So I was recently cornered by some employees. I went and told a manager, and they gave me some suggestions. I didn't really think it was that helpful, and so now I am afraid to return back to work, which I have now been off for 2 weeks. I'm not in a position to take off due to the first move. I am currently in debt and behind on bills, and I feel like this is starting to consume my life. I am scared to even leave my place.
Wow.
Yeah. Terry, we have music coming. We're going to take a break, but listen, I want you to know I'm looking at numbers for safe, like the National Domestic Violence number. We're going to give you some tools because you need to be safe before you can make some decisions about work, and especially if you've moved states already. This is serious. I'm glad you called us. Stay on. Brian, go ahead.
Yeah, we're up to our break, but don't hang up, Terry. We want to continue having our conversation with you here on New Life Live.
I was sort of vaguely familiar that the 12 steps had some origination in the Bible. I found life recovery, and one of the things I liked so much was that it had such a broad appeal. It wasn't limited to just alcohol or drugs, that it was addressing a wide range of problems.
At New Life, we believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience. There are life recovery groups all over the country. They take place online, in conference calls, and in person. And if there isn't one in your area, we can help you start one. We have startup materials, leaders' guides, CDs, Bibles, and more, all with discounts available for groups. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and ask for Terry Ward. The 12 Steps have long been a great help to people in recovery because much of the 12 Steps' power comes from the fact that they capture principles clearly revealed in the Bible.
The 12 steps is really a pattern for all of us as Christians.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. Do you need help for life's hard situations?
My husband recently said he wanted a divorce.
I'm confused on what I should do.
I have an eating disorder.
New Life Live answers your questions on relationships, grief, addiction, trauma, anxiety, and much more, all from a biblical perspective with our panel of professional counselors and psychologists.
I learn a lot from your program.
You help so many people.
I appreciate your ministry.
Whether you listen or watch, there are so many ways to connect with us to ask our panel of counselors a question. Call us Monday through Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific at 1-800-229-3000 to ask your question on New Life Live. Or go to newlife.com/radio for other ways to get your question answered.
I'm trying to find help.
I just want to know how to set boundaries.
If it's a sin, what am I supposed to do?
Need a therapist or a coach, a resource, or an intensive? Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
And let's go back to Terry in Florida. You still with us there, Terry?
Yes.
All right. Thanks for holding through the break.
Terry, you sound like you've been living in a nightmare, and the nightmare is following you. Would you tell us what marriage was like to your previous husband, your ex-husband?
This is not my husband. This is an ex.
An ex-boyfriend?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And was he outright abusive to you when you were in relationship with him?
I wouldn't say abusive, but controlling. Very controlling. And so that's why I ended the relationship.
How long were you guys together?
For 2 years.
Was he involved in illegal activity? Was he drug dealing? Was he actively in an illegal lifestyle?
Not that I know of, no.
And while you two were together, did you know of him hurting other people, paying someone to hurt someone else?
So I believe that is the reason why he's after me, because I don't know how to say this.
Because you did know about something he was involved in.
Yes. Yes.
What were you going to say? I believe.
I believe he hurt someone, and he found out I knew, and I think he's afraid I will go to the police. So therefore, I believe he's trying to get me for that reason.
Wow. Becky?
Terry, have you told anybody this?
Yes.
Okay.
I have contacted the police. My mom is aware, and my dad is aware. So, yes.
And the former boyfriend, you feel like he knows where you are. He's coming to find you. Kind of. That's the experience.
Yes.
We. Okay, go ahead.
So, when I was in the other state, my phone was hacked, And I believe that's how he found out that I knew. And the state that I'm currently in, my phone got hacked again. What ended up happening that I felt it was hacked, on social media, someone had created a page in my name. Also, it wasn't me. A message came on my social media page stating, "I will find you wherever you are." And that's what startled me and had me to go to the police.
Yeah. Wow.
Have you continued to report everything that has happened? Ongoing reports to the police?
Yes. The police said, I need more evidence. I just need to keep collecting evidence for this. However, I don't know how to do that unless I would have to record. I have to have recording devices. And now this is in my work life. I am scared to return back to work. I'm lost.
Terry, and you are under stress because of this. It's hard to think critically when you have this pressure that you're experiencing right now. We've provided, when we end this call, we'll give you lots of local resources that will help. But the number one that I want you to get connected with is victim services. They're in every state, in every county. And the reason why this is important is because when things like this happen, the last thing we want is for no one to believe you. We want someone to hear you and present a path and a process to safety and to let you resume your life and to be able to be connected to safe people and go about your business. And you can't do that just on your own. If you've listened to the show ever, we talk about the power of community and what's happening in an abusive situation. And this is abuse. In abusive situations, you get isolated, and that's what's been happening to you, even to the point where financially this is impacting you, your well-being, just where you live. And so, our encouragement to you is to contact these organizations that we're going to give you offline. And even just begin the phone call. I just recently talked to a woman whose husband was abusive and it was mental abuse. It wasn't physical. And so, she would tell people and they'd be like, "Oh, not him. He's too nice." And yet they didn't understand the hell that she was living through at home with her and her children. Well, she contacted the local women's shelter or support center. And as she talked to her, she said, it took me a lot to make the phone call because I kept thinking it was all in my mind or that there was nothing anybody could do because he wasn't hitting me. The reality was when she made the phone call, they were supportive. They said that you absolutely are being abused and we can help you. And they began to just take small steps. And she said the best thing about that phone call was that I was heard and I didn't realize how bad I was going through something. But Terry, you know how bad it is. You have that wherewithal, but you need the support, and we will get you the information after this call ends.
Alice.
Terry, keep up this reporting that you're doing to the police. It is so brave of you, especially given the threats he has made against you. You're incredibly courageous and you're strong. I'm sure you don't feel that way, but I hear it in how you're handling this. So I want you to consider a few additional things. If you haven't been asking about a witness protection program, that may apply in your case if they're investigating the person he supposedly hurt before. You might talk to your medical doctor about a medical leave due to stress. At least see if that is an option for you. I want you to also try to get a consultation with a domestic violence attorney, and they'll usually do a free consultation first and give several tips about how to collect the evidence that the police are requiring of you. Are you involved in a church in the new area you've moved into yet?
No, not at the moment. I am scared to pretty much live my life normal
Of course.
at this point.
You might even be afraid to leave your house.
I am.
Uh-huh.
I am.
Even if you just call some churches to start a relationship and to find out, I would say a bigger church in your area, do you have domestic violence support groups within your church? Do you have a community that knows about this and works on this with people in the congregation? Because I want you to become known in this town to some safe people, with the ideal hope that you'll ask some of the men of the church to show up for you. I mean, you may not have family in the area. You need some good men to show up, to even just be around your home, possibly to show up at your work with you, to accompany you into work if and when you decide to go back, so that you don't have to do this alone, and so that people see, oh, she's not here alone like we thought she was. She's known. She has people who care for her. It's going to take some work to develop that. But we don't want this man to hold such authority over how you live your life that because of the fear he's perpetrating, you stay stuck in your home. Understandably, you have to stay safe, but broaden your connections in the community, even if it's from your home, so that he doesn't have all this power over you. And Terry, we believe you. Mm-hmm. We believe what you're going through.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate
like
so much.
And Terry, you're a brave woman, and it's hard to be brave for a long time. And so that's why we want you to get the support that you need. I want to send you a copy of Take Your Life Back for the obvious reason. This is part of it. This is the extreme, but a lot of times we say this so glibly, but it's so true. If you see something, say something. And, if in this situation you have said something, you've been trying to stay safe and make people aware. Terry, we're going to pray for you. Our audience is going to pray for you, and we're going to get you connected with some help.
Thank you so much.
All right, Terry, stay on the phone. We're going to send you a copy of Take Your Life Back from the newlife.com store. And like Becky said, if you guys can all keep Terry in your prayers. This is some hard stuff, and she was very brave to call in today with this situation, but she knew to reach out to New Life, and we appreciate your phone call, Terry. All right, we've got a break to do here, and then we'll be back to talk more. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for listening to New Life Live. Thanks for supporting us as well, either as a monthly supporter or maybe you just want to make a one-time gift. We appreciate those as well. We appreciate you guys. We really do. We know that you pray for us as we pray for you and as you pray for the people who call in to this program. We will be right back. By the way, have you checked out our new website? We think you'll like it. It's newlife.com. It's the same address, but it just looks a lot different, but it's got all those great resources that you've come to know and love. We'll be back on New Life Live.
I went to Every Man's Battle in 2012. My sexual integrity was not what it should have been. I sought out affairs, whether physical or emotional. Until I came to Every Man's Battle, I didn't understand that would never fill that void.
Every day, men struggle with sexual integrity. Impure thoughts, strip clubs, affairs, pornography.
The shame and guilt was overwhelming.
For over 20 years, New Life Ministries has been helping men regain their integrity through their one-of-a-kind Every Man's Battle Intensive.
You will discover what the true root of your pain is, and you will discover how to overcome.
You don't have to struggle any longer. Get help in Orange County, California, September 26th through the 28th. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE to register or to find out more. 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Enter the code NLL for a discount.
Every Man's Battle saved my life.
1-800-NEWLIFE and the discount code NLL. For over 35 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
Your ministry has saved my life.
If you struggle with emotional hurt, family or marriage problems, the pit of depression, or the pain of addiction, we can help.
I'm down 100 pounds now from what I was.
I found a counselor through New Life Ministries, and it's just been outstanding.
Our treatment programs provide clinically appropriate solutions from licensed professionals, all in a biblical framework.
I have had problems with alcohol. I think God has ordained this place to be
his.
You don't have to be a prisoner of your pain. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
She tells me that I'm a new man, and I feel like a new man.
It worked for me, and it can work for them too.
This time it is different.
If you're ready to take the first steps toward genuine spiritual and emotional healing, call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. God can open the door for a better tomorrow.
To get someone that's competent, that's good at what they do, it's been like day and night compared to what I've had before.
Call 1-800-639-5433. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Make plans now to join us online 1 month from today for New Life's Choosing Wisdom Life Recovery Conference. You'll hear from 12 experts who will teach you practical strategies for overcoming anxiety, shame, and relational dysfunction, biblical wisdom for navigating grief, identity struggles, and financial recovery, tools to recognize and respond to narcissistic behaviors, and more. You can visit newlife.com for all the details and to register. We've got early bird pricing going on right now. The sooner you log in, the better chance you'll save some cash. And let me just say, even if you miss out on the early bird pricing, it is still a really good price. So check that out at newlife.com. The Choosing Wisdom Conference reminds me of the Bible verse in Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 4. It reads, "Getting wisdom is the wisest thing you can do, and whatever else you do, develop good judgment." So make sure to visit newlife.com to get the dates and locations of all of our upcoming events, including this course that is going on, or I should say this, it's not a course, it's a conference. It's 1 day only, October 4th. It's 5 hours, 12 speakers, some great topics. And again, newlife.com or call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. One of the other ways that you can get your questions to us, if you can't call us when we're here in the studio, is to go to newlife.com/radio. You can leave us a voicemail or send us an email. That's what Phil did. Here is his question. What do I do with my thoughts and emotions while going through my third divorce? How do I keep connected to my kids? So here's Phil's story. I'm a single father of 4, ages 20, 19, 16, and 4. I just got separated from my third wife last Memorial Day weekend in 2024. She started running around. I do have full custody of my 16-year-old. His mom is a different woman. Since then, I've moved towns twice because of situations. Lost almost all visitation with my 4-year-old. And my 16-year-old doesn't talk to me anymore because I took him to his mom to stop him from trying to sleep with a girl. I have submerged myself into work because I'm worried about trying to sort through all these thoughts and emotions. And now, because of living in debt with life and the divorce, I can't afford to take time off to get counsel. Can you all please give me some help? Alice, what would you say to Phil?
Oh, Phil, you must feel like you're underwater here. You're drowning, and you don't know what to do about it and where to start. Phil, being able to just start talking about what you're going through, like you did in a way when you sent in your question to us, it's part of God's process of unraveling so many tangles that have developed in your life. And so by beginning to discuss the anger, the fear, the overwhelm, the powerlessness that you're feeling, even just by speaking it out, it starts to change how your brain is working. When we keep all those thoughts and feelings to ourselves, the emotional part of our brain, the amygdala, is most lit up. And it's very difficult to make good decisions when we're overwhelmed by emotions. When we just start to talk about it, the activity in the brain moves to the prefrontal cortex, and that's our decision-making area of the brain. It's where our advanced thinking takes place. And so it may sound simplistic, but talking to a professional gets you into a place of having more clarity and more self-control. Our clinicians are well-versed in working in situations like yours where there are many complications with multiple romantic relationships that have been broken, children that aren't talking to you. So, Phil, we have the answers of how to handle those situations, and it's by taking the thoughts and feelings, the situations one at a time, little by little, that we can start getting you to the answers and solutions, and talking is the way to begin.
Becky?
Well, you know, as I was writing notes from his question, the word that I came up with was chaos, which I know we're going to talk. We talked about that at our webinar just recently. But what Alice is saying is correct. There's got to be a plan, Phil. You're not going to figure this out on your own. One of our favorite sayings is the same brain that got you into the mess isn't going to be the same one that gets you out. And so you have to have somebody outside of yourself. And so a couple things to consider. You say that you don't have the time or the money for counselor, but listen, you don't really have the option to not do something like counseling. So it could be that you check out your insurance benefits. It could be that it could be covered by insurance. It could be that you get connected with a life recovery group. While that's not counseling, it is a process, and it's supportive, and it's usually free. You might have to buy the book, but we can get you connected with a group, and you can meet online. I can't stress enough that in order to get order in your life, it's going to take a process. And so it's not going to be when to start. It's going to be today is your day, Phil. So, you submitted the question. You're going to have to call us back at 1-800-NEW-LIFE, and one of our ministry representatives will get you connected with someone who can help you find the way out. You're not going to figure this out just by continuing to run. Work is becoming very important to you because it is predictable. Many times and I said this earlier, didn't I, about money and work, and we get focused on work because we know what to expect, and it actually can be an escape from all the chaos that we're experiencing. But you're raising children, even if you're not in communication with them right now, that are going to need a better way forward. So that's what I'm going to invite you into, Phil, is do whatever you can to get into counseling. We will get you connected, and join a life recovery group. You need the help to get forward in this.
Yeah, Alice.
And Phil, schedule-wise, there are therapy sessions early in the morning, late at night, on the weekends. There are recovery groups 24/7, especially with the online availability. So do not let time be your excuse, because if you're willing to let us connect you to these resources, you can find the time, you can make the time in your day. And one simple thing you might consider, simple but not easy, as you start to unravel the mess, you said your 16-year-old is upset. You intervene to try to protect your child from making a big mistake. And so even though you may have been right to stop the child, building a bridge back by saying something like, you didn't like how I handled what you were doing. You didn't like that I sent you to your mom's. You didn't like the way I intervened and I disciplined. I want to hear about how my action affected you. And I'm just going to be a listener without defending myself, without justifying myself. It's those little invitations, Phil, that slowly but surely can start to rebuild connection when you're willing to be a listener to your family. So a good counselor will help you work that out even further, practice it, because it's a scary conversation to have, but it's an effective conversation to have.
I love that. Right now, what we are just hearing from Phil is the wake from the chaos, from not having some sort of plan in place. You know what I mean? Like you think about the past. So what I want for Phil is I want him to think 5 years down the road. What do I want to say that I've been doing? And Alice, you said this earlier today. Time is going to pass, whether you do anything or not. But let's get into a process so that you can look back and then you have a determination of, okay, well, I tried this and that didn't work, but here's what I learned from it. And the last thing I want to say, though, is the last wife that betrayed you, that also creates trauma. And so we want to heal the parts of you that are in pain, that are causing you to continue to make decisions that are not in your best interest or not in your family's best interest. But there is hope, Phil. Call us. We will get you connected with the help that you need.
Indeed. Phil, thank you for sending in your question through newlife.com/radio. And it's true. Everything we do, it's because of you. For a minute there, I thought I was Brian Adams, but I'm Brian Perez.
I did too.
Anyway, seriously, the radio program and podcast you're listening to, the web stream you're watching on YouTube, the free resources we offer to people who call in on the program, the need-based scholarships we give to people who can't afford one of our weekend intensives, and so much more. are because of your generous financial support. We don't mess around when you guys make a donation. We put it to good use right away. So find out more at newlife.com or call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We will talk to you tomorrow. Thanks so much for listening and watching New Life Live.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Please join us again tomorrow for New Life Live.